Well, good morning. Jim Sunderwirth here from the Swing. So good to be back with you today. We're talking about kind of a serious thing. We're talking about how God is with Moses up in the mountains and how the children got discouraged and they built a calf and they began to worship it. And we talked about the fact that everybody has to have a God, and if you take the real God who made you, created you, has a plan for your life, take out of that hole will be tried to be filled with something that you think would give you pleasure from the past or something, and you begin to worship it and you'll sacrifice, and then you'll come unbuckled and waddle completely loose, and the flesh at one time was in control. But let me tell you something, when you go back in that situation and you let go, I'm telling you what, it is relentless, and it just becomes a tyrant, and you just go crazy because it feels so good that what you think is freedom is really becoming incarceration, and you don't even know it yet. So here's God's up in the mountain. We talked about yesterday how that they thought they were all alone and they're doing what they wanted to do, and their little bull calf was going to keep them safe. Well, God knew it, he felt it, and he saw it, and we talked about it yesterday. And then now he said, let me alone. God says that my wrath may burn hot against them, and I will consume them, and I'll make a great nation out of you. Now here, in a sense, God was testing Moses again. What's Moses going to do with this? Is he so proud that he'd say, let's just get rid of them, make me a great man, and we'll have a new nation, you just make them out of me, yeah, let's just go wipe them out. No, he saw, listen to what Moses said. Every one of us, look, when people go off and they get back, every person has known God and been in the fellowship of a relationship with God. If they're truly called of God to minister to those people and they see someone get off, their heart breaks for them. Every one of us needs someone that we can stand in the gap for us when we're off doing our thing thinking it's freedom, and people are just watching us walk right straight into incarceration, right straight into all the thing that's going to destroy their life, and they stand in the gap. God saw that his leader Moses was not self-centered. It wasn't about him. He knew it wasn't about him. So he said then Moses pleaded with the Lord, Lord, why does your wrath burn hot against your people whom you brought out of Egypt with great power and in your mighty hand? Oh, look what you've done for them. You've invested in them. You've shown your reputation. And why should the Egyptians speak? He brought them out to harm them, to kill them in the mountains, and consume them at the face of the earth. Turn from your fierce anger. Please relent from harming your people. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, for your servants to whom you swore your own self, and said to them, I will multiply your descendants and the stars in the heavens, and the lands that I've spoken of I will give to your descendants, and they shall inherit forever. He brought to the remembrance. Do you think God forgot that? No way. Do you think God was really just going to harm him like that? Well, yeah, he has wrath. Yes, sin has consequences. But he saw that Moses, the leader, was more concerned about those that he had been put in charge of. It was like David. David took care of his dad's sheep, and he took care of them well. And he learned that God could help him protect the sheep. And he could have run from the bear, he could have run from the lion, but he didn't. David didn't, because he was living in the presence of God. And when you're truly in the presence of God, you want the best for the things, best things for the people that God loves so much. And here his dad had all these sheep out there, and David was out taking care of them, and he wanted the best. He could have run, like I said, he could have been scared, run from the bear, run from the lion, but he didn't. He stood up and said, I'm standing in behalf of my dad to take care of his sheep. And that's what Moses was doing, crying out to God, please God, I don't want descendants after me. You said he was going to after Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph, all of them. He said, I'm here. And so the Lord relented. He just, from the harm which he had said he would do to these people. And Moses turned and went down from the mountain, and the 2 tablets of the testimony were in his hands, and the tablets were written on both sides. And the tablets were the work of God. And Joshua looked up and said, Moses, there's noise in the camp. There's noise of war in the camp. And he said, no, it's not. It's not the noise of the shout of victory, nor is the noise of the cry of defeat, but it's the sound of singing I hear. So it was, as soon as he came near the camp, he saw the calf. Ah, can you imagine the heartbreak of Moses seeing that calf, what those people had come to, how they had lowered themselves to the point of thinking a self-made golden calf was their source of life and source of protection and source of purpose. Oh, it broke his heart. And he took those tablets, and in his anger, he threw them down because he loved God so much, and he saw what these people were doing, and it broke his heart. You know what? Don't ever stop standing in the gap. Always pray for your loved ones. Always pray for those that have turned aside, thinking there's more pleasure and more happiness and more purpose outside of a relationship with God. Keep lifting them up. I can tell you story after story. When they come back, they're grateful that you stood by them. And let's just be thankful today. Man, time gets away. I'll see you tomorrow.